Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play Ape Escape Pumped and Primed. Last time, the end of the tournament was in sight, only to find out that inside the trophy was a special data disk. This data disk seems to be of importance to a mysterious stranger who is now putting us through what is known as the Virus Tech Tournament. So, we're going to start with Spike yet again in Mega Break 1. So, what is the Virus Tech Tournament? Basically, we have to survive, defeat all the enemies sent to the tournament, and take back the peaceful world. You can finish the stage by defeating all the targets in gold, silver, or bronze color. Cooperating with a friend, you can easily pass the stage you can't pass yourself. In cooperative play, you and your friends do not do damage to each other. You can pass the stage if either of you survives. So this is where the game starts to pick up a bit, and where the plot really actually starts to come in, kind of halfway through the game. Kind of annoying for that being the case. So what exactly is going on? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of you are confused as to what's going on. Well, the manual actually goes in a little detail about this. So there are 3 entries in the manual that are of some interest. They are the Pipitrons, Helga's entry, and finally the Mystery Man. So we'll start with the Pipitrons. With this sentence right here. It is rumored that they have something to do with a mysterious stranger. That gives you the idea that there's somebody behind the scenes pulling the strings of the Pipitrons. I'm completely ignoring the fact that I just won the tournament, but I need to explain the story before people start wondering what the diddly heck is going on. Now for Helga. Helga's one that's interesting is it seems she's on a more important mission this time, referencing the fact that she was looking for that data disk that was inside the trophy. The reason for that we'll actually see in a couple of intermissions later on, and I'll elaborate more. But finally, we have the main villain of this game, the Mystery Man. The mystery stranger, or, hold on, let me rephrase this. This mysterious stranger seems to be planning something bad behind the scenes. Will he make the tournament go in an unexpected direction? Now, you're probably wondering, well, who is this mysterious stranger? We never really meet him. We meet his creation instead, known as the Grid Core. The Grid Core is what has taken over this tournament, because remember, this is a virtual world. The mysterious man created this Grid Core, which is basically nothing more than a computer virus. And what his goal was to get the data on the disk. Well, he's got the disk and the data for it now, so we're paying the price now, as you can see. Now, it's never revealed who the mysterious person is until Ape Escape Million Monkeys. Ape Escape Million Monkeys is, as I mentioned beforehand, a sequel to Ape Escape Pumped and Primed's story. And this is where I have a biggest criticism of the story of Ape Escape Pumped and Primed, if having even further disconnect between what's going on screen and what I'm talking about. And that is, if you want the story, you have to play as Helga and the Pipitrons. However, there's only 2 intermissions in this game, and they don't repeat when you go through the tournament. So all the intermissions that I'm going to be adding in later are all because I added them in myself, just to make sense of the plot for everyone. That's kind of bad design, when you can go through an entire game, then get to this point and have no idea what the heck's going on. And believe me, as a kid, I didn't know what was going on at all. I mean, I read the manual. There's this mysterious stranger who's created what's known as the Grid Core, but that's all. And then the fact that he created the Pipitrons, but that's really all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. And back then, I also didn't play as other characters. So I just played as Spike because, hey, I remember Spike. He was from the first Ape Escape. I like Ape Escape 1. I don't like Jimmy. I'm glad Jimmy's not in this game. Yes, I had to get my Jimmy hate in at some point. Just don't like that protagonist. But pretty much here we have auto-scrolling stage in the Virus Tech Tournament where we have to deal with these bad little creatures that want to do us harm. Because remember, another thing that the Grid Core ended up saying was that the world, things are raising the stakes now. So this stuff before, it was just a game. It was all virtual reality. Everything was perfectly fine if we got hurt, fell off a cliff and everything. In this case, we're fighting for our lives. So it's like an evil version of Tron, only we don't have any light suits and we don't have any light cycles, which kind of sucks. Because, I mean, then again, seeing as how many times I'm falling off with this dash hoop, it's a good thing I don't have my light cycle. I'd probably drive that off a cliff right in the instance. But pretty much these type of missions right here, they have their own unique tracks, as you can see. And what they are is, in this case, we have to simply get to the end and survive. But you might be noticing there's a new counter right next below our health. That is how many enemies we have defeated, quote unquote, because the enemies infinitely respawn inside this area, unfortunately. And what we have to do is, if we beat a certain amount of them, then we'll get prizes from monkeys, because despite everything, there's still people watching this as though we're just a regular tournament. Yeah, still monkeys watching this thinking that this is an actual tournament. And this is where we can get into some of the better prizes inside there. For example, in the last match in which we ended up going against a bronze monkey, that's actually a costume you can unlock inside this game, along with a silver and a gold one. I believe the gold one you unlock differently. I don't remember entirely, but don't worry, we will be getting to the end. This is going to be what takes up the most time inside the Virus Tech Tournament, just like how we had inside of the regular tournament where we had different rounds. The Virus Tech Tournament has different rounds to it, starting with a Mega Break, going into Giga Break, Terror Break, and finally Nano Grid. So we're going to be playing as all the characters again and getting through this entire thing. And that's going to be fun. Really, these are relatively short, and unlike the actual tournament itself where you had to worry about points, this case it's just worry about surviving, which I appreciate a lot more than points, because if there was a point requirement that I had to do in order to pass these, I'd rage quit this game so fast. But it's really a shame that for this game, the plot really won't make sense to you unless you go and search for it. And the only reason why I know some of these plot points is because I've played Million Monkeys. I own Million Monkeys and understood most of Million Monkeys. That's the only reason. And the only reason why I know that the Grid Core is not the mysterious man is because the Grid Core shows up inside of Million Monkeys. Just as a little bit of a spoiler. The Grid Core shows up in Million Monkeys as a boss, and he's completely different from the mysterious man, who I'm not going to say his name because I will eventually do Million Monkeys. So I don't want to spoil that, to say the least. If only Million Monkeys was localized like it was initially planned to in the UK. Really, the UK got shafted for this. Actually, now that I think about it, the UK would have been at sort of a disadvantage when it came to this series, because Million Monkeys is a sequel to Ape Escape Hunt and Primed, a game they never received. And funny enough, inside both cases, Million Monkeys was planned to be released in PAL regions, but was canceled because Ape Escape 3 was releasing that same year, and then it just never came to fruition, which is such a shame. But there we go. That takes care of that, so Spike, do your little dance. And we got ourselves a present for killing over 107 of the enemies. So, why don't we move on now to Mega Break 3, which is going to be another bout. Most of the Virus Tech Tournament is this, going against the gold enemies. We have a couple of races here and there, and that's about it. Most of the time, it's you beating the ever-living snot out of evil clone characters inside other ones. So in this case, we're going to beat up Natalie in a silver costume. Or she's just going to run off the edge. That totally works too. All right. So far, so good. I'm liking how this is turning out. Now, you can defeat the normal enemies that are inside the Virus Tech tournament inside these matches in order to get yourself items such as health, to get yourself flame bodies, flak jackets, things such as that. So, yeah, you're going to need to watch out for the enemies, ladies and gentlemen, because they will spawn, they will attack you, and they do make the Virus Tech tournament a little bit harder, if anything, annoying. But Dr. Spike's doing very well. I'm wearing the doctor's outfit for this because I find that it goes perfectly with this for some odd reason. That and the Fire Stun Club. And I'm totally not just saying that because this is literally one of the only things I've unlocked with Spike since I only played him once in the tournament. So, let's do the last of the Mega Breaks, Mega Break 4, and then we will end off the episode. So, Mega Break 4, defeat all the targets. It's a Water Mech stage. Now, the Water Mech stages you need to watch out for. Same goes for the tank ones, because we have fireball enemies that will target you. Your Water Mechs will also end up going after you. Not your Water Mechs. The enemies will go after you, but your Water Mech will also target the enemies, and the enemies infinitely respawn, so you need to watch out. However, to mitigate this, you have infinite ammo while you're inside the Mega Break tournament or Virus Tech tournament. Why did I call it Mega Break tournament? Inside the Virus Tech tournament, you have infinite ammo. This applies also for any of the tank missions because we are going to be doing tanks. As you can see, pretty much this is just a recolor of a previous event that we've already done. Just without that. Just without other people, you know, being on our side since I'm playing this solo. But take care of that monkey. And there we go. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end it off right here. This has been Roxas1359. Next time, we're going into the next stage of the tournament, Giga Break. See you guys next time.